Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. I found the problem with my microphone. It shouldn't pop, snap, or crackle anymore. And while I was fixing it, I went through and listened back, and I noticed that one of my better, in my opinion, posts I never published or sent out or anything. It was just sitting there. I never finished it off, published it or made a video of me reading it. So here it is right now. It's called A Patriot's Perspective. Okay. Now I wrote, it says June 19th, 2025 here because that's what I just now found it. It was, I had to continue, and then publish. So, but I wrote this well over a week ago, probably 2 weeks ago. But seeing that you can see me and everything, let's jump back over here. And it says, A Patriot's Perspective, 8 years of political turmoil, triumph, and truth by Sammy Descoil. As patriots, we've endured a roller coaster of political battles, betrayals, and breakthroughs over the past 8 years, from President Donald J. Trump's first administration to Joe Biden's disastrous term, and now to Trump's triumphant reelection. We've watched the uniparty entrenched elites in both parties fight tooth and nail to maintain their grip on power, often at the expense of everyday Americans. Through executive orders, judicial battles, and a relentless media machine, the fight for America's soul has been fierce. Yet the Patriot movement, bolstered by the presence of the QAnon community, has stood firm, and Trump's new administration is already delivering results. I can hear it now. Everybody's going to say, we're not QAnon. Yes, we are. We used to call ourselves QAnon way before the mainstream media did, so don't harp on me of that. That's why I said QAnon. I didn't put them together. I put a little dash there. And QAnon community comes up to this site right here. Let me make sure I am sharing it. Yes, these Anonymous versus QAnon hackers pledge to take down pro-Trump conspiracy. This is, just the explaining of the BS, so we'll get rid of that. And, I got to get back to, darn it, what did I do? Open, close, wrong one, dashboard, posts, Patriots Perspective, okay, okay, I've got it back. I figured it out. All right, let's get back to reading. All right, by Sammy the Squirrel. All right, Trump's first administration, 2017 to 2021, a foundation for America first. Donald Trump's first term was a seismic shift for decades. Globalist policies hollowed out the American heartland, eroded sovereignty, and prioritized corporate interests over working class families. Trump's America First agenda aimed to reverse that. His key moves included Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, reduced taxes for individuals and businesses, spurring economic growth. The unemployment rate hit historic lows, especially for the Black and the Hispanic Americans, 3.5% overall by 2019. For everyday Americans, this meant more money in their pockets and job opportunities in communities long neglected by coastal elites. Border security. Trump's border wall construction and policies like Remain in Mexico curbed illegal immigration despite media hysteria. These measures protected American workers by reducing wage suppression and strain on public resources. The impact was tangible. Border crossings dropped significantly by 2020. Deregulation. Trump rolled back 98 environmental regulations, prioritizing energy independence over Obama-era restrictions. This unleashed American oil and gas production, lowering energy costs for families. The average gas price in 2020 was $2.17 per gallon, a relief for working class Americans reliant on their cars. Now, this $2.17 per gallon, that was nationwide. Here where I live in Rich Creek, it actually got down below $2. I think it was like $1.93, I believe, was the lowest it got, or something like that. But it was under $2. Judicial appointments. Trump appointed 3 Supreme Court justices and 234 federal judges, reshaping the judiciary towards originalist principles. These judges upheld constitutional rights like the Second Amendment and checked overreaching federal agencies, although it doesn't seem like it as of late. The bad. The establishment fought back. The Russia collusion hoax, fueled by a complicit mainstream media, distracted from Trump's achievements. The uniparty, rhinos, and Democrats alike obstructed his agenda. From healthcare reform to infrastructure, the 2020 election, marred by allegations of irregularities, left patriots feeling cheated, especially as big tech censored dissent and the mainstream media dismissed concerns as conspiracy theories. Blech. The Muslim ban misnomer. Trump's Executive Order 13769 in 2017 restricted travel from 7 countries with high terrorism risks: Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. The MSM branded and Democrats branded it as a Muslim ban, but it targeted specific regions tied to radicalized networks, not all Muslims. The order was rooted in national security, protecting Americans from threats like ISIS, which had infiltrated refugee flows. The Supreme Court upheld a revised version in 2018, affirming its legality. The media's distortion fueled division, ignoring the policy's narrow focus. Biden's administration, 2021 to 2025, a uniparty disaster. Oh my God. I need a puff. Joe Biden's presidency was a masterclass in uniparty failure, marked by incompetence, inflation, and open borders. Patriots watched as the establishment doubled down on globalism and woke ideology with devastating effects on the everyday Americans. Economic mismanagement. Biden inherited a recovering economy, but fueled inflation through reckless spending. The consumer price index spiked to 9.1% in June 2022, the highest in 4 decades. Gas prices soared to $5 per gallon in some states, crushing families reliant on commuting. Supply chain disruptions, exasperated by Biden's policies, led to empty shelves and higher costs for groceries and essentials. Border crisis. Biden's reversal of Trump's border policies led to the record illegal crossings. Over 2.5 million apprehensions in 2023 alone. Communities face strained schools, hospitals, and housing. The CBP One app and lax asylum rules incentivized migration, overwhelming border towns. Woke overreach. Biden's push for diversity, equality, and inclusion, DEI, programs and transgender policies alienated many Americans. his administration's attempt to allow transgender individuals in the military and federal funding for gender-affirming care for minors sparked backlash from families concerned about cultural erosion. Biden's crime family cover-up. The mainstream media ran interference for Biden, dismissing Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation. The New York Post 2020 story was censored by Big Tech, and 51 intelligence officials falsely claimed it was a foreign op. Dang, I didn't copy. By 2025, evidence confirmed the laptop's authenticity, revealing Hunter's shady business dealings in Ukraine and China. The mainstream media's refusal to report on Burisma, CEFC, China Energy, and Hunter's art deals shielded the Bidens from accountability. Patriots knew the truth early, thanks to alternative media and the QAnon community. The good, if that is what you want to call Biden's infrastructure bill, invested in roads and bridges, benefiting some wealthy communities, though we never saw any high-speed internet to rural communities, and the grand total of 8 electric car recharging stations that only cost the taxpayers a little over $7.5 billion because Pete Buttigieg does not know where the rest of the money was spent. In his push for Ukraine aid, showed resolve against Russia, though it strained U.S. resources, but these were overshadowed by failures. The bad, Biden's energy policies like rejoining the Paris Climate Accords and canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, which are both just moves, hiked energy costs, his communication of 37 death row sentences, including for heinous crimes, angered victims' families and me. The Afghanistan withdrawal 2021 was a debacle, leaving 13 U.S. service members dead and allies stranded, not to mention giving away a fully functional air base to the Chinese. Trump's reaction 2025, or Trump's reelection 2025, a Patriot's hope restored. Sounds like a movie title. Trump's return to the White House on January 20th, 2025, was a rebuke to the Uniparty's Patriots, who waited 8 long, agonizing years for a leader unbowed by the establishment, are seeing their patience rewarded. Trump's early moves signal a bold agenda. Exclusive executive orders. Trump signed a flurry of orders, including reinstating Schedule F to fire disloyal bureaucrats, pausing federal grants for review, and ending Biden's DEI programs. He declared a national energy emergency to boost oil and gas production, lowering costs for Americans, and we're already seeing a big savings there. He also moved to defund PBS and NPR, long seen as left-leaning propaganda outlets. Border security. Trump resumed border wall construction, ended Biden's catch and release policies, and suspended refugee resettlement. He's using the Alien Enemies Act to target criminal cartels like Tren de Aragua, prioritizing community safety. Judicial pushback. The Uniparty's allies in the judiciary issued temporary restraining orders against some of Trump's orders, like one blocking his attempt to end birthright citizenship, deemed unconstitutional, and another halting actions against law firms. Patriots see this as evidence of a weaponized judiciary protecting the establishment. Uniparty accountability. Trump's executive orders target Biden-era abuses, like the revocation of security clearances for 51 officials who falsely labeled Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation. He's also probing political bias in federal agencies, a direct challenge to the Uniparty's grip. Yet, the lack of broader accountability rhinos and Democrats dodging consequences remains a sore point for patriots. Trump's new department heads, patriots in action. Trump's appointees reflect a shift toward loyalists who share the patriot vision. Here's what they've accomplished so far. Now, this was back when I wrote it. All right. It was several weeks ago. Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, terminated Biden's 18-month TPS extension for Venezuelans through a federal judge blocked it. Noem's focus on deporting criminal aliens aligns with Trump's broader security push. Darren Beattie, State Department, as acting Undersecretary for Public Diplomacy, Beattie is reshaping U.S. messaging abroad, countering globalist narratives. His past support for January 6 defendants resonates with patriots. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Health and Human Services. R.K. Jr. skepticism of big pharma and vaccines has patriots hopeful for transparency in public health. He's reviewing hormone therapy and puberty blockers for minors, citing insufficient evidence. These leaders are dismantling the uniparty bureaucratic stranglehold through legal challenges, slow progress, or though legal challenges slow progress, patriots see them as warriors for accountability. The QAnon community, more right than wrong. The QAnon community, vilified by the mainstream media, has been a beacon for patriots. While not every prediction panned out so far, their track record is impressive. Hunter Biden's laptop. Q drops in 2018 hints at elite corruption, later validated by the laptop's contents. The mainstream media's dismissal as disinformation was debunked. Deep state resistance. Q warned of a cabal within government and media undermining Trump. The censorship of conservatives on big tech and the Russia hoax proved this. Election concerns. Q posts raised alarms about election integrity, which gained traction after 2020's irregularities. While courts rejected fraud claims, patriots believe the system suppressed evidence. Remember, I'm recording this on YouTube. The mainstream media's blanket condemnation of Q as a conspiracy theory ignored its role in awakening millions to the uniparty corruption. Patriots know Q's broader narrative, elites versus the people, has been vindicated. Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, a tool for disinformation. In 2012, the 2012 modernization of the Smith-Mundt Act, originally meant to regulate U.S. propaganda abroad, allowed domestic dissemination of government-funded media. The Uniparty exploited this to push narratives via outlets like NPR and PBS, cherry-picking facts to fit their agenda. For example, during Biden's term, NPR downplayed inflation's impact, framing it as transitory, despite soaring costs. The mainstream media, bolstered by government-aligned messaging, dismissed Hunter Biden's scandals as deepfakes or Russian ops, protecting the uniparty's interests. This act enabled a feedback loop where taxpayer-funded media amplified elite narratives, sidelining patriot voices. I should have said silencing. Trump's move to defund PBS and NPR is a step toward dismantling this machine. Impact on everyday Americans. Trump's first term, lower taxes, cheap gas, job growth lifted working families, deregulation empowered small businesses, while border security protected communities. However, media-driven division and the COVID-19 response, lockdowns, mandates, strained trust. Biden's term, inflation crushed household budgets. with grocery prices up 20% by 2023. Open borders overwhelmed local resources, hitting rural and suburban areas hardest. DEI policies alienated traditional families, while crime surged in cities due to lax policies. Trump's second term, early days. Energy production promises lower fuel costs, a boon for commuters. Border crackdowns restore safety, but judicial TROs delay relief. Patriots feel hopeful but frustrated by ongoing uniparty resistance. The mainstream media Biden cover up. The mainstream media's protection of the Biden crime family was blatant. Beyond the laptop, they ignored Burisma, Hunter's $1 million a year role, despite no energy experience at all. Emails show Joe Biden's involvement in meetings, contradicting his denials. China deals. CEFC paid Hunter millions, even gave him a big old diamond. I think it was a 4-carat diamond or something like that, with funds allegedly funneled to Joe. The mainstream media labeled these unsubstantiated. Despite bank records, art sales, Hunter's $500,000 plus art deals raised ethics concerns, but outlets like CNN called them legitimate. Whatever. The mainstream media's refusal to investigate, coupled with big tech censorship, shielded the Bidens while smearing patriots as conspiracy theorists. The truth is now undeniable, vindicating those who spoke out. The Patriot path forward. Patriots have waited 8 painful, long years for this moment. Trump's loyal appointees are dismantling the uniparty's machine, but the fight ain't over. The judiciary, media, and entrenched bureaucrats continue to obstruct. The QAnon community's warnings about elite corruption have proven persistent, and their call to trust the plan resonates as Trump's team takes action. Everyday Americans are feeling the stirrings of hope, and it's a darn good feeling. Lower energy costs, secure borders, and accountability. But the uniparty's resistance demands vigilance. We, the people, must stay united, reject mainstream media lies, and support leaders who put America first. The Patriot movement is stronger than ever. Let's keep pushing for the golden age Trump promised, and I believe he is going to keep. Okay, that's it for this. I can't believe I didn't post that. It's probably because I didn't finish editing it or something. I don't know. But it's 23 minutes long. So thank you again to all my paid subscribers. I put this out for free, but if you want to become a paid subscriber, that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing this for money or anything. I'm just doing this hoping to help keep people informed, with facts that you can see for yourself. With a little bit of my sprinkle of my personal opinion inserted. Anyways, that's it for this one. Have a good one, y'all.